And we are live. Awesome. Are we? Let me double check, make sure we're live on the channel. And there we are. Oh my goodness. Hello.
Hi.
How are you girls doing?
We're good. How are you?
We're so good. How are you?
Awesome. I'm doing great. Hope everybody in the chat is doing well. Looks like we got people joining. Excellent, excellent. All right. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another awesome streamily event. I am here joined by the lovely Aly and AJ. I know all of you guys know these lovely gals, but I will give them a chance to introduce themselves and say any kind of intro they would like. So if you guys would love to go for it, take the floor.
I'm Aly.
I'm AJ. We are sisters. We comprise of the rock duo Aly and AJ. We have had a band now for over 20 years, which is insane. If you're just joining this chat, thank you so much for being with us. We have never done a streamily together.
We've never done a streamily together.
And I have recently been a part of two really special panels with my She-Ra cast and Steven Universe cast. And so I talked to the streamily folks and we got Elijah on board and I was like, let's do an Aly and AJ band day. So we're very happy to be here. We're also both actors. If you know our work, Aly has been in iZombie for years and Hellcats, and we grew up in Cowbells together and on Disney Channel. And I've been on a series called The Goldbergs for a long time. So shout out to that.
And we have an iZombie streamily that's going to be coming up as well, which we're really excited about.
Yep.
And then
wait, who else doing it?
Raul and Rose and I,
awesome.
are planned to do one together in the new year. So we're really excited about that.
That's going to be great.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, cool. Well, we got some questions touching base with a little bit of all of that. So it's going to be fun. For those of you in the chat, if we run out of the pre-selected questions from you guys, then there is the chance we'll grab some from the live chat. So if you have questions, feel free to leave them there. So ironically, this is actually a question we found this morning, but I thought it was so cute. I decided to add it to the list. And so it comes from Baker Bex on Twitter. And her question was for the both of you. What are you most proud of something your sister has done on her own so far?
Oh, that's cool.
Wait, that's really
a great
sweet.
question. I don't know if we've ever been asked that.
That's a good start to this chat. I love that.
It's a great start. I think I would say AJ's voice work. I think I'm most proud of. It's something that she always loved as a young kid, and she was always very passionate about like cartoons in general, and then being able to find her own voice in the voice world is just awesome, and is a cool thing that she does, you know, separately from her work as an actor, you know, on camera.
Thanks, Al. That's really sweet. I would I mean, literally it's like, it's a no-brainer, but like watching my sister become a mom, like that is single-handedly the coolest thing I've ever seen her do. And it has really shown me that I always knew Aly was like maternal and had really good instincts with kids, because like kids have always flocked to her, but seeing her with like a baby and just feeling like everything's just safe and working out really well, and she knows what she's doing. She's done the research. I mean, you can't research for a moment like this.
You can do some, you know, but a lot of it
is a lot of the times. Yeah. And I have just watched Aly not wing it. Like she's really just gracefully going through life as a mom in a really impressive way. Like I actually am like very, very impressed.
Thanks.
Oh, those were such lovely answers. You guys are so freaking cute.
That's a great question.
That's a great question.
It was really, I was like, oh, we got to ask this one. It was too cute. All right, awesome. Also, I wanted to mention, guys, I forgot to include it in the intro. They will both be doing signings, not during this stream, but they will be having their own live streams. They're actually going to be doing it on December 23rd as a cute little Christmas Eve theme, fun time.
We'll do together.
Yeah, that's super cute. So they'll do it together. If you guys want to order something to get signed by them live, their links are in the description. They have them separately there. You can find them, and they have some really cute like merch and posters and stuff you can get signed. So yeah. Okay, cool. So after that, such a touching question, we'll go into another one for the both of you. I read somewhere that you guys used to use piping from your dad's construction jobs as telescopes, and then soccer balls as like pirate ship bombs. And, you know, I've just heard such cute things about your childhood. So my question was like, have any of your songs been inspired by a particular childhood memory at all?
Oh man.
That's another great question.
I don't think we've ever written a song about a specific childhood memory.
We do have a song coming out on the upcoming album, which will be out like spring early spring of next year. We haven't like announced a date, but it will be early 2025. And there is a song on there that kind of flashes back to a moment where Aly and I were in like our old like childhood swimming pool, and the song is called The Deep End, and it's actually about like the swimming pool that we like grew up swimming in.
Yeah, that is
which
true.
is so bizarre.
That is true.
I mean, there's more to the story than that,
but yeah,
it is the most like nostalgic leaning song I think.
But we haven't written about like our childhood or something specific from our childhood,
or the Pirates.
Yeah, or that. That was us, like, you know, playing in our backyard, big imaginations as kids, you know.
It makes so much sense where we ended up as artists down the road, because I mean, tons of kids play these games. It's not like just people that end up becoming entertainers, but I do think Aly and I had like an insane imagination growing up. And because there was two of us, we were able to really exercise that like on a daily basis with each other. Yeah. And for us, it was like building sets and like props and like making like little food dishes for our Barbie dolls. And like we went above and beyond, like wrote scripts out for our Barbies.
Yeah, we were very committed.
We were committed.
So cute.
So like we were like, you know, very early in the industry at a young age, and not realizing we had entered it yet.
Oh, that's so cute though. Sounds like you guys had such a blast growing up together. Like amazing.
It was very
we
special.
did. We had a great childhood.
Yeah.
See, growing up as an only child, like watching you guys on screen and stuff and seeing you guys behind the scenes, like that, it made me want to have a sibling. I was like, oh damn, sibling goals, you know?
I have a lot of friends that are only children.
Yeah, you're right.
And they say the same thing. They like see Aly and I together and they're like, wait, sibling goals. And we're like, you can join our siblinghood.
Yeah.
We'll adopt you.
So cute.
Yeah.
Just the more the merrier, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So I also wanted to do some separate questions as well. So for Aly, are there any cheer routines you still remember from Hellcats?
Oh man. I feel like if I saw like some video footage, it would probably come back to me. But no, I don't think I remember anything. In a strange way, like being on set, you are almost in this like vortex. You remember what you need to in the moment. And then within like 24 to 48 hours later, it's like gone from your brain. Because
it's like studying for a test.
Because you have to make room to memorize for the next episode. So I think it would come back to me. Yeah, I think it would. I would have to look at some videotape though.
Your training on that show was extensive.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you would have been able to clock some of the training skills that you learned from it, but not actual routines.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You should like experiment with this. Like just come in one day with like a Bluetooth speaker and just start playing one of the songs and see if her muscle memory just takes over.
Yeah. That happens. We have crazy muscle memory with the music stuff. That comes back almost immediately, which is weird.
It's weird. We won't have played a show we play really consistently now. Like these days we're playing live shows very consistently, but every now and then there'll be a long gap and it's like, we'll just jump on stage and sound check and be like, all right, it's right where we left off. And it comes back instantly. It's
nice.
Wild. Yeah. So we're very lucky we have that.
That's great. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, awesome. This one's going to be for AJ. Is there anything you kept from the set of the Goldbergs?
Oh my gosh, that's such a good question. And I'm kicking myself because no, not really, which is sad.
What would you have taken?
I mean, I would have taken something from Lainey Lewis's house, which at the time when I transitioned from Goldbergs into Schooled, my life was in Schooled mode. And meanwhile, it's like Goldbergs ended after season 10. Right. And I was able to be in every season, and every season I should have been clocking like, okay, could this be our last? Like maybe I just snagged one thing and I didn't do that. I mean, I'm lucky that I got to play her on 2 different sets. So I really had no excuse. I should have snagged something from Schooled, but I got my chair back, you know, the actual chair that says like AJ Mashaka, Lainey Lewis.
Cute.
Not like a prop, it's actually heartbreaking. The one thing that I will say, and I live vicariously through her for this, George Siegel passed during season 8. God bless him, such a legend. And Haley Arantio, who plays Erica on the show, actually saved like a crossword puzzle that he had been writing in for years.
Wait, what?
It was on set. So when Pops was in a scene and he was talking, he would like be doodling or whatever and writing in the crosswords. And when he passed season 8, Haley snagged it. And I was like, that is the best item you could have is George Siegel's crossword puzzles from a set.
Sweet.
So anyway, from her, and I'm like, next time I'm on a show, I really need to embrace like the sentimentality behind it.
Yeah. Oh my God. That is wow. Like what an item to have, right? Oh, that is so cute.
And he was a cartoonist, so it had like some of his little drawings.
How cute.
Yeah, he's
she used to frame that like in the most like elegant frame.
She does. I just found out she had it. I was like, you're so lucky.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow, what a thing to have. Awesome. Okay, this one's gonna be for the both of you. We'll do one at a time though. So for Aly, which one of your songs do you think would be Keely's favorite? And for AJ, which one would be Lainey's?
That's cute.
What would be Keely's favorite? I'm trying to think. Maybe something from the past. Maybe
Good OG.
Chemical React.
Ooh, okay.
Good. That's a good like Phil and Keely song.
Really,
Yeah.
really could.
That
like,
seems spot on.
that actually could have been on the show. I guess that record was out when the show was done.
Yeah, it wasn't even. Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Wow, that would have been a good song on there. I think for Lainey, because the amount of
80s Lainey.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's interesting. Like maybe Joan of Arc or Attack of Panic because they feel like kind of electronic synth 80s pop. Yeah. But I honestly, because she broke up with Troy so many times in the show, or Barry, I would say
Breakup Song. Oh, interesting.
I think they were off and on throughout the whole show.
That's a very good point.
Now, would she listen to the OG version or the new version?
Oh, right.
I think she would listen to the new version.
Yeah.
I think she would have dropped an F-bomb and been like, yeah, I'm Troy, Barry, we're done. I keep saying
in her
Troy.
Feels. Oh, yeah.
In her feels. And then they'd get back and it'd be like, okay, never mind. And then she'd listen to the song again.
Yeah. I have to laugh because it's sometimes like when I'm on Spotify, the original one will come on. I'm like, no, where's the new one? Give me the F-bomb.
Thank you. Okay, we appreciate that. I mean, all roads point to the future, and that is the new version, and that's great. We love that. We want people listening to the new version because it's ours.
Oh yeah, it's great. I freaking love it because you know what was cool too, because it's like I felt like it grew up with us, like with your audience, and so now that we're all adults now, it's like, no, give me this version. Yeah.
It's cute. I was shopping the other day, like Christmas shopping with a friend. And I was in a store, we were shopping for candles, and this girl was like, are you, she recognized my friend first, funny enough. And then she was like, are you AJ from Aly and AJ? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, I love Potential Breakup Song. And I asked her, I go, which version have you been listening to? And she was like, oh, the new one.
Yeah.
Like I've been saying those words since I was young. Like, why would you have the other even on your playlist?
Okay, fair.
And I was like, all right, okay, girl. So anyway, I love it.
You guys also there was something added to the actual track. It's a little more like rocky. It goes harder,
I agree. I think it's a good. It's like still honoring the original, but it's a good like glow up.
It's a great remake. Yeah.
It really, it feels new and improved. I agree. I think the production's even better, and songs date eventually, and it's like I do think it was kind of a cool opportunity to make this song like a 2000s moment for us.
So good. So good. Okay. Anyway, moving on back to the questions, what people are actually here for. Sorry, we're fangirling over here. But this was going to be for Aly. Bandslam is an underrated classic. What do you remember the most from your time on that set?
I remember the cast sharing a lot of like indie music that I did not know about at the time with me that now like I still listen to some of those bands today. Yeah, so there was a lot of like music that was shared on that set because everybody was, very passionate about music and it was at that time where everybody was in their, late teens, early 20s. Discovering a lot of stuff. Yeah. And then just, making mixtapes or mix CDs,
nice.
And so I remember that a lot. And then, just exploring Austin as a city. I think at that point, AJ and I had been through Austin, playing some shows in terms of concerts, but we had never spent like time there. So that was the most time that I'd ever spent in that city. And it's definitely, I think one of my favorite cities still today to like tour in and to visit. Just a really great food, bar scene, music scene. Barton Springs is so special there. It's like a public space that you can go to swim. It's amazing.
Lady Bird Lake. Like there's so many cool, we're like obsessed with Austin.
Yeah.
But it is neat. That was like your first introduction to it, really.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really nice. Yeah. And it comes with so many great memories and stuff. That's really neat. Oh, wow. That's great. Also, and Bandslam is a great classic, by the way. I just watched it recently with my girlfriend again.
Thank you. I haven't seen it in so long, but it's a good movie.
Either.
Really it's so good. It's so good.
Aly and Vanessa still like over the years have stayed in touch and are friends, and they literally both had little boys.
Yeah,
like
we both have kids.
A couple months apart.
Really cool.
Like
they're close in age,
which I think is so. I'm like, people are having kids now from that movie. Like, what?
Yeah. It's us now, guys. It's our generation. Oh no.
Wow.
It's funny. There's actually, so I have a question for AJ next, but then the follow up or the next one after that is actually going to be about your son. So we will actually be getting a chance to talk about him in a second. This one's gonna be for AJ though. What is one thing you like about on-screen acting and one thing you like about voice acting?
They're really different. I mean, they both like. I'm really passionate about both. I love being, I love being on stage. I love being behind the booth. I'm really used to being in front of a mic as a singer. So like, I feel like when I'm doing cartoon work, it's kind of a practice and a challenge for how I'm going to present my voice in that moment, or how I'm going to preserve it during like a fight scene. So like, I feel like there's a lot of connections to being a vocalist and training professionally and using that as part of your work when you're on a cartoon. So I have a lot of like pride in that, which is great. So that's kind of a cool thing, is that who I am as a singer really helps me when I'm in the booth. When it comes to live action, I think it's the camaraderie. Like, you don't necessarily get that with animation. I mean, obviously you have your director with you on the other side of the glass, and sometimes you have cast with you in the room, but a lot of times you don't. And you are relying on the director to be usually an amazing voice actor. They're usually playing like 20 roles, and they're giving you the other side, and they're giving you constant direction, and they have to be so good at their job, which is amazing. But if they're not, which I've actually never worked with a voice director that wasn't incredibly solid, then it would be a struggle. So like for me, the camaraderie of being, on screen with people in a live action job is just above and beyond fun, because you're just like face to face with each other, and you're able to improvise and bounce off each other. And you don't get that when there's not a cast member with you. So,
so true. Oh, wow. That's so true. All right, awesome. This one is going to be for the both of you, because it would be interesting to get both of your answers, actually. So, has the birth of Aly's Little Bundle of Joy sparked a new inspiration of creativity when it comes to your music?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like it has.
Like when you were like, when you had them,
I mean,
not even before you had them.
Yeah, while I was pregnant, I mean, kind of.
AJ's like, no, we were pregnant.
We were writing the record, and then we were, in the middle of making it. And then I ended up delivering him right when we started production on the album. So we had to take a break, and then we came to the studio to finish but also start it, basically, the record. So he's kind of been in like every moment of the music, from creation to completion. And he definitely inspired like a couple of songs on the record, which I think is really cool and special. And I think now that he's like here and we know his personality, like, it'll only be more of that in the future, I'm sure. And then just him being like on the road and traveling with us, and like seeing him understand like that his mom and aunt are musicians and that we're on stage. Like, it'll be very cute when he starts to understand like, oh, okay, we're going on tour, and I know what that means,
He's going to be your biggest fan.
Yeah. I hope so. Hopefully he loves the music.
Yeah,
if he doesn't.
He could also be our greatest critic as well.
You know what? That's fair.
Should be good.
That's fine. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, maybe he'll keep you guys grounded then, like ground you in like, no, this doesn't work, or yes, this works.
Exactly. He can give us his honest opinion. No bias.
He's like, I'm not hearing the hook in this chorus, Mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay, sir. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's amazing. And then any changes for you, AJ, at all? Like, has any of your music writing or anything been changed by that little ray of sunshine?
I mean, yeah, it's wild. I didn't really think it would be this. I mean, I knew it would be exciting, but to be an aunt, it's like, it is literally my greatest joy. Like, I joke that it's like the best role I've ever booked is becoming an aunt, because it's just so fun. Like, I love spending time with him. He knows you. He knows me. Like,
which is kind of crazy.
He knows my voice. Yeah. Like when we're FaceTiming, like, it's so cool. And I know, tons of aunts out there are like, yeah, duh. Like, but it is so cool when it's your first one. You're like, wow. But he has been a mega inspiration for this last album. And, Aly knew she was having him in September of 2023, because it was around the time we played the Greek.
Yeah, that's when we found out.
So I do feel like since that moment, like, we've been kind of living as a band on a different path, but in a way that I actually think has only brought more excitement and more authenticity and more honesty to our lyrics and all of it. I feel like this is the best record we've ever made.
Yeah.
And part of me is like, yeah, that probably is because there's like a new being that's like breathing life into our world.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's okay. And congratulations again to the both of you, of course.
Yeah, but I mean, it feels very like, I mean, obviously we're so used to doing so much together as a family, but adding him in the mix and like, you know, just having him travel with us and be at shows and just bring him along for the whole journey is like very unique, but I think he'll have a really cool and interesting like upbringing. Childhood will be very diverse.
We took him on like a mini tour. We played 4 shows with Cyndi Lauper last month and we had a blast. And I'll never forget the first thing, she sees the stroller from afar backstage after sound check. And she's like, is that a dog in there? And we're like, no,
no, there's a baby.
It's our, cause she's like, you know, she's got like 3 pugs and like, she's, and we're like, no, it's a baby. Like he's on the way. She's like, wow, that's amazing. You're taking him out now. And I'm like, cool. Baby Jack just met Cyndi Lauper and she thought he was a dog initially.
I love it.
Awesome. You know what? You can't be too sure, especially in Cali. Like they're always
there's a lot of strollers with
it
dogs.
It was such a
California.
like entertainment. Like I loved it. I was like, yeah, like why wouldn't you assume there's a dog in there? Because the amount of dogs that roll in strollers, you see it all the time.
All the time, even here in Florida, like all the time. So it's a fair question.
It is.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, he's going to have a very adventurous and he's going to see the world. That's amazing.
He's going to see the world. He's going to meet a lot of really cool people.
His passport is going to be pretty legit.
Pretty stamped. Yeah.
It's a shame they don't make like little baby passports for babies.
I know. We want to make like a baby laminate for him for when we hit the road so that it's like miniaturized.
Ally's friend is really crafty.
I'm going to ask her to make a mini laminated
like one that's just like, and that he can wear on a little lanyard. It's just too cute. And it'll have like our actual like backstage pass VIP picture on it or whatever.
I have
That's so cute.
But yeah, it would be really cute.
That is amazing. Awesome. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, this one's kind of fun. It'll be for both of you. We can wait for Aly to come back, but you can definitely answer your side. Of all the characters you've played, are there any you really miss playing? If so, why?
Wow. I mean, this was years ago, but I think like the first show I was ever on TV, this 1-hour drama on CBS called The Guardian. It kind of feels like it was like my acting class. Like we didn't go to acting school. We trained, you know, we definitely had like a large period of our childhood growing up. We were training, but like, I didn't really get that experience until I was on that show. And I got to work with Dabney Coleman and Simon Baker for 2 years. And I learned everything from Dabney, and God rest his soul. He passed last year. I miss him terribly, but I really feel like that was like my mentor, like growing up. And so if I could go back and play any role again, it would be Shannon on The Guardian, which I literally did when I was like 12, but it would be really cool to see her now as an adult. She had a very rough storyline and had a really rough childhood. So it was a really dark character, but it was really beautiful to work with those kind of people. And I learned a lot on that set.
Wow, what an awesome answer. Same question for you, Aly. It was of all the characters you played, are there any you really miss playing, and if so, why?
You know, there was something very like sweet about playing Keely, because she had like such a positive outlook on life. Like she's a complete, you know, optimist. And I think being able to like play that character day in and day out, and have the kind of friendships that I had from that show that I still have today. Like I'm still very close with Revive and Amy, was very like unique and special. I don't think you get that from every job. So I don't know, maybe Keely, like obviously I would be playing her in a different form now, you know, because obviously she will have grown up, but yeah, that was a really sweet role. And you know, we had a lot of fun on that set.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I was speaking with AJ about it before you joined on, that I grew up watching Phil of the Future, and it was such a good show, and that's where I first got introduced to you, and then Cowbells introduced me to the both of you. So there's definitely a charm to those OG Disney shows and movies for sure.
Yeah, I agree. It's not. I think there was a special time like that the Disney Channel kind of held for so many kids, and and was so like important in our childhood upbringing. I don't know if that is still relevant now, but there was that like period of like 10 years where it was like golden. That was like the golden era of Disney.
Oh, for sure. I'd have to agree with you. I try to watch the new stuff now, and it just it doesn't have. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. You guys were just.
But also, it might not be speaking to us now because of the age we're watching
we're not
it.
kids.
True.
So part of me is like,
you're like, can I trust this? Because this is my adult brain not liking it, which is like fair enough. You're not an adult, but you're right. Yeah.
But it does. Yeah, I've tried to kind of watch a couple, and I'm like, yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah. It's just not the same. It's okay though. We had it. We had that time.
We had the good moment.
We had the good moment.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so this is a question for both of you. It comes from Aly and AJ updates actually on Twitter. They're always on top of your stuff. They want to know when can we expect to next hear something from your upcoming album Silver Deliverer, which I think you kind of touched on a little bit earlier actually.
A little bit, yeah.
We'll have a song, like, I think if everything goes as planned in the new year, like fresh in the new year in January.
Yeah, that'll be the next single.
Yeah, and we're really excited about just where the mixes are at right now. Like we still are kind of tweaking with some of the songs and things. But the next song that will be released is like locked and ready. And it has been for a minute. But we're just working on like, the rest of the album and kind of perfecting all of the songs. But, not perfecting too much. Like we want it to also feel like, it's not perfect. It should feel human. And, there's going to be, moments in the record that feel like they were captured in real time because they were, and they weren't like tinkered over, many months. I think sometimes it's nice to just kind of leave something as it is. It's very easy to just like keep digging at it and trying to make it perfect, but art is never perfect. So we're excited to share with people. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's and that's the whole beauty of it, right? Same with people, same with life. It's not meant to be perfect, or the uniqueness and the differences and flaws, or that's the beauty. Yeah. I love that. Awesome. Okay. This next question comes from Blake Hawkins, and it's for AJ. Did you have a favorite moment playing Lainey Lewis on the Goldbergs?
Favorite moment. So there was one season where Lainey was at the yearly Thanksgiving Goldbergs dinner. So every year they would do a Thanksgiving episode, and it was usually like hours and hours, 5 days in a row of them at this Thanksgiving dinner table. And it would always be the most chaotic episode of the year, but they kind of just had to do it that way every year. And it was hilarious. Lainey was never invited. Like Lainey just was never at the dinners. And there was one year with Pops and the whole gang and their uncle and me. And I want to say maybe David Keckner, who played my dad, Bill Lewis. And I got to be a part of the Thanksgiving episode. I don't remember what season it was, but I remember being like, yes, Lainey was invited.
That's
and
awesome.
It was really, really fun. And then I would say, my favorite episode, if I was to like pick the most, just because might as well, I would probably say, oh gosh, the Wedding Singer episode. I think the Wedding Singer episode was really cute. And it was such a moment for Barry and Lainey. I was like, I think this is my favorite.
That's
cute. Our take on Wedding Singer. That was probably my favorite.
Oh, that is a good one. I will say. It's funny. So when I first met you in person, we discussed a crazy random way we were like in the same place at the same time for a couple weeks on end back in Cali.
Yeah. Yes.
I was an extra on the Goldbergs for an episode as well, which is so random.
Do you know what episode it was?
Oh, I don't. There was like, I do remember you were in it. I'm pretty sure there was like a scene where there was an airport. And then we were like screaming at this school bus. There was like this whole, like a school bus got surrounded by an angry crowd. And I was like in that angry crowd, and they decked us out in the 80s. And
amazing.
Yeah. But it's
lots of screaming on that show. So it's hard to define.
Yeah. I'm trying. I can't for the life of me remember, but we were in it for like 3 different scenes. I remember the bus, the airport, and there was another one. And it was just like the cutest outfits. Like it was such a fun set to be on. And, I'm just like, it's so random. Like that's just, and now I'm asking you questions on my YouTube channel. Like what?
I love it. That's really cute.
What is life? It's fun. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this one's gonna be one for both of you. Again, we kind of were talking about it already a little bit earlier. This is gonna be about potential breakup song, but it would be interesting if there's a little bit more like lore in depthness we can get about it. So potential breakup song took 9th place at the Time Magazine Awards in 2008, but then went on to win the trending VMAs in 2021 as best comeback song. What was the reason behind the creative changes you decided to make to it that haven't already that you guys haven't already touched on, if any?
I mean, I think that it going like viral on TikTok just made us feel like we could kind of like revamp the song and in a new way. And I think for us, you know, the song has been around for so long in our mind, even though it's a new song for so many other people. So it was a fun way to like revamp it for our live show as well, because we knew that we would want to play that song, you know, with the fans because it's one of the favorites from the past. So it was, I don't know, it was just like, it was kind of like perfect timing. It was very meant to be that it went viral when it did, and that we were able to like kind of quickly get in the studio and say, okay, let's think of a new, like slightly new version of what the song is and what it means to us. But I think the lyrics still, you know, ring very true to a lot of people. When we wrote it, I mean, when we wrote it, it was kind of about like, who's the absolute like worst boyfriend, like that you can possibly imagine. And the potential breakup that kind of looms over the relationship. And I remember we just had a lot of fun writing it, you know, when we were in the studio that day. I think we all felt like, oh, this is a really like, this is like a little earworm. Like we all kind of ended the day being like, oh, that was a good one that came out of the songwriting gods.
Totally. It's just funny to think that like, just as like an extra tidbit, I think Aly and I have maybe talked about this before, but like we didn't even have our license when we wrote that song. Like we weren't driving to the studio. We were like being driven to the studio and like writing in the back of the car and finishing lyrics. And now it's like, I can't even, it's so hard to even picture that time in life, but I'm like, wow, we were so young, you know, writing about something that we weren't super
even that
equipped to write about.
Well versed in. Like at that point, we probably had like one boyfriend.
Yeah. But yet everyone who listened to it could relate to it. So it was just such a, I mean, now people can't even more because we've all lived life and broken up. But yeah,
we're all in our 30s.
We've all lived it. But yeah, it's been on for a long time.
Oh, it's awesome. It is. It's such a good one. You know, even if you're like it's a good gym song. Like it's just a good song.
It is a good beat for a gym workout. Yeah,
it does.
Yeah. You need that little maybe the reminder of like a past ex or something to really give you.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great song.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see here. Ooh, okay. This one's from a fan. His name is Liam Gradwell. It's a question for both. Which is the biggest festival you have performed in, either in the US or abroad?
Well, I guess abroad was Hyde Park, which was a big one for us.
Yeah, in London. That was really cool.
I would say here in the States, probably Lollapalooza.
I think so.
And yeah, I think for us, that was also, you know, a huge moment as a band because it was kind of us coming back to music after, you know, so long and from such a long break. And that festival was really kind of celebrating this new return to music, and specifically around A Touch the Beat coming out. So that was a cool memory.
Very cool. And I think not only was it obviously like huge in size, but like for the moment, it was really the first festival back since the pandemic.
True.
So everyone showed up, and we actually opened the stage. We opened that day on the main stage.
Oh.
And it was an insane crowd. Like
we were kind of surprised because, you know, like
couldn't believe it.
Later in the day, usually the better slot. So we were kind of like, well, we're just happy to be here. Hopefully people will show up. And we had an amazing crowd turnout.
And it was our first festival.
Yeah.
Lala. So it was really, that was very special. We're actually playing, we can't announce it yet because a lot of these festivals haven't announced themselves and they have to announce first, but we're playing quite a few festivals next year.
Yeah. So we're excited about it.
Oh, good.
Maybe Lollapalooza is on the table for 2026. Yeah. would be awesome.
Actually, that's really cool, even for me as a fan to hear, because I had tickets to one of your concerts here in Florida about a year or two ago now at House of Blues. And I couldn't go. I actually had to fly out to a different state because unfortunately my grandmother had passed away and we were in the hospital with her, and I missed the concert. But I was hoping that you guys come back to Florida at some time. I would definitely. Yeah. Awesome.
That's easy, and you don't even have to get a ticket. Like, you can just be on our.
Yeah, just message.
I gotta support you guys.
Message the Streamily, fandom. Message us.
Message Claire, and then
we'll hook you up.
Awesome. Oh, well, that would be amazing. Because I've watched you guys on TV. I've listened to the music growing up and kind of grew up with you guys. I mean, we're close in age, and so I never got to actually see you in person. And your concerts always look so amazing, and you guys just bring such a light and energy to your performances. I was like, damn, I want to feel that. And so one day I will get there.
25. We're going to be playing. We're going to be playing Florida.
A lot of
so
shows.
That'll be your moment.
Nice. Awesome. Good to know. So, hey, anybody watching in Florida as well, then we have something to look forward to.
That's right. We'll be announcing a tour early next year.
Yeah. Awesome. Perfect. Looking forward to it. Okay, so this is going to be a question for both of you, but we'll do the one at a time because it's kind of like a one and then a follow-up. We're going to start with AJ. So we know during your guys' 12-hour live stream that you guys did, which was freaking epic, by the way. That was amazing. I stayed up for that shit.
You did?
It was so good. I was there for the cowbell reading, for the Shira.
You really, you go deep. I love this.
I am blown away.
It's
okay. So you know the drama behind that, right? That we couldn't on the day we couldn't go live, so we recorded everything and then we moderated it as a 12-hour live stream for 12 hours, interacting with fans as we played each clip. Which actually was really cute.
No, it was, and it worked.
It worked. And has anyone done 12 hours since? Probably.
I don't know.
I don't think so. Well,
honestly, it seems crazy to do 12 hours. Like,
we were gonna do 24, and we were like,
we'll never make
it. Was great. And then I do remember because you guys, there was a moment with you guys like being disappointed with the signal being lost, and like just getting to see you guys the real side of just like, fuck, this sucks.
We were just pissed at the Wi-Fi gods. We were like, this is well, how could you do this?
Like, we're in the middle of a pandemic and we're trying to bring entertainment to people. How dare you?
Yes. But the concert was great. I loved the opening concert. Like, I think it really did do what you guys wanted.
Yeah.
It brought fun and joy to being at home, because at the time COVID had been how many months we were all like in lockdown, and
it had been a bit at that moment.
It had been a few months.
Yeah.
So it was great. You guys, it was such a great idea, and I'm glad even not in the way you wanted, it still worked out some way.
That's really sweet.
Thanks.
Love that.
Yeah. Sorry. Anyway, so in that live stream, we saw that it was mentioned that Aly wanted to get into voice acting herself. So AJ, if you could create a type of character for Aly to voice, what character would you create?
Interesting.
Whoa. Okay, that's hard. Well, Aly and I, so funny enough, we've talked about this for a while. We've been developing an animated series that would star the two of us for a while now. And so much has happened between baby and music and touring, and that it's been really, it takes a really long time to develop an animated series. So we've been in the middle of that for a while. I'm not going to give more info, but it will be in your future at one point.
Hey, I might react to it.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Please. But I think for Aly,
I'd love to hear this.
Like, would I make you a villain? Would I make you a hero?
Like a creature, an animal?
Right. Would I make you a creature?
It's like, do you want to be a good sister or a bad sister? Like, do you want to really push your sister's vocals? Or
Totally. I think I'd want to see her. I think I'd want to challenge her and be like, you're going to play a villain. Like, you're going to be, it doesn't have to be Catra, but just like some sort of, the person on the show that like really creates the drama and makes it, hell for everyone else. That would be fun for me. It doesn't have to be an animal. Would you want to play a person or an animal?
I don't know.
Bring up the hell in Hellcats.
Exactly.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Gosh, that's hard. I'm gonna have to think about that more, and maybe we can answer one.
Would love to see that. Well, so the follow-up then will be for Aly. So AJ has done quite a bit of voice acting now. So what type of character would you like to see her voice next?
I always wanted AJ to voice Bubbles. in Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, how
It would be
cute.
really fun, and I think it would be a really cute like voice to do.
You look like Bubbles.
And you look like Bubbles.
I love
And
her.
we were obsessed with Powerpuff Girls growing up. So if they ever did a reboot, I feel like
Well, they did.
I mean, they did, and yeah, no,
they did. And I actually auditioned for, I want to say all
Buttercup?
3 characters,
yeah, or maybe all 3.
and then I got really far on Buttercup, not Bubbles, but it didn't.
I could totally see Buttercup, yeah, because you you got that like nice natural rasp in your voice.
Yeah,
it's tough. Yeah.
No, I agree. Like Powerpuff Girls is like my dream.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's funny? If they ever did a live action like the Powerpuff Girls grown up, like you could totally be a Bubbles, you would be a Blossom, and then you just need to find a Buttercup. Vanessa could be Buttercup.
Vanessa, perfect.
There you go.
They tried to do a live action show
CW,
for CW of the Powerpuff
Oh.
Girls. It just didn't. It didn't
It
work.
never
I
ended
don't
up
know what
going
happened.
fully.
Like maybe they made the pilot. I don't know, but maybe we need to like resurrect this.
Let's do this. Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, anybody
someone-
out there listening?
Someone wants it.
Yeah. Is there a producer watching? Hey, we got an idea.
We always come up with an idea on these streams.
Oh yeah. So many good ones. That's why it's nice to do these. You never know. Jot these down. You can always come back and for memory, be like, you know what? We need a new idea. Let's watch one of these streams back and see if there's something there.
And see if there was like gold in there.
Exactly.
Awesome. Okay, this is so it's funny you mentioned the COVID. This is a somewhat COVID question. So it's for both of you. What was it like creating music during and then after COVID versus how you used to make music before?
I mean, making it during COVID was interesting just because of the testing and the social distancing and the masks and all of that. But I think because we were in a bubble in terms of like, we weren't really going anywhere other than the studio and then just home. And that was kind of our world for a few months. It felt safe. And no one ended up testing positive that whole time, which is amazing. I think, I think that now, when you're in an environment in the studio and someone's sick, obviously it's like, everybody's like, okay, should they test? Like, get them out of here, but it's not, it doesn't seem as, I guess it doesn't seem as dire of a situation as it was in that first year or two, where it was like very,
because also everyone's vaccinated. Like,
yeah, people were now vaccinated. And I think the, just the level of I don't know, like drama that was around, it was so huge, and also kind of made sense too, because we didn't know a lot about the outbreak. Whereas now I think we understand how it kind of works and who it can kind of target more. But I think now, like, it doesn't really change anything in terms of our creativity now.
No, I think the weird thing is that when you're making an album, you're kind of in your own bubble all the time. Like you masking and testing and taking your temperature before you enter the studio. Like you're all just, that's all you're doing. And it's a group of people, and it's the same group of people every day. And it's the engineer and the producer and your band and you, and that's about it. And every day is just focused on home, studio, home, studio, home, studio. So it's always kind of felt the same.
Yeah. It's just now, maybe
making a movie or a show during the pandemic is really
and also there's a lot more people involved in that space as opposed to an album,
Gotcha. Yeah, it was a interesting time. Very, very interesting time. Awesome. Okay. This question comes from Robbie Thornton. It's for both of you. Are there any new projects coming up that you're allowed to share with all of us?
I mean,
your face.
really music is like the focus at the moment. I mean, AJ's doing some more voiceover stuff. But like really it's this album. That's kind of the only thing that is like for sure happening. It's in the pipeline, and a tour that will obviously be paired with it.
I mean, most of our 2025 in a lot of ways is kind of not taken up, but a lot of it is just for the live shows. So like in terms of projects, it would be hard to even slot anything in right now. I mean, we still audition, we still, obviously, there are many parts of the industry that we're involved in, whether it's developing or producing or writing or whatever. But I think for Aly and I, it's like, yeah, the focus is all music, and that's really going to be our next year is all live shows, which is great.
And then if there's time, you know, to slot in there, like maybe there's an acting job, but at the moment there's nothing on the books outside of the music.
All right. Well, you heard it here first, guys. New year, new music.
There you go.
Follow their site and stuff. You'll get all the notifications because I may or may not be on there already. So yeah, they update you guys. Oh man, I live up to my name. I'm a fangirl. You know, it's what I do.
Love it.
Awesome. Okay, cool. This next question is for both of you as well. It comes from Alex. Is there a story of inspiration behind potential breakup? Well, again, I love how everyone always has so many questions for potential breakup song. But is there a story of inspiration behind it? Although, again, you guys kind of already touched base with writing it in the car. Like
it wasn't a true story. It wasn't
based on anyone.
Like it wasn't based on anyone specifically. If you think about the song, like
which would make it more exciting.
It wasn't someone that actually forgot our birthday and we actually asked to get all of our stuff back. Like that was all fictitious.
Santa?
It was all made up.
Never.
It was interesting. I think maybe now we could probably be writing from a place where it's like, oh yeah, that 100% happened to me. But at that age, we were still so young. We were like 18 and 16.
Yeah.
Or not even.
Not even. So like, our dating experience at that point was
slim.
Slim.
Yeah. That's great.
So a lot of imagination was used in potential breakup song.
Yeah. But see, again, just really goes to show though, like so many of these questions have been for that song. Like that is like
it's true.
I think what most people, even fans who maybe don't follow you guys, you know, like religiously all the music, know that song.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's wild. That song has really, really lived on.
I feel bad because then the other song I think people, at least in my circles, that really remember you guys from is the one that you don't like, the roller coaster. Like
whoa.
Like whoa, which people love that song. It's not our favorite. However, we've kind of grown in the last couple of years to like it.
Yeah, to be like, more, okay, what else?
Because we've tailored it in a way live where it's actually really interesting with the band and fun.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, when you see the live show in 2025 and we bring it back, you'll see that it's used in a cool way in the show.
Awesome.
So we've revamped it ourselves, which I think it's made us, be into it again.
That's great. It is a gem. Let's see. Ooh, this one's cool. It's for both of you. What is your go-to music platform choice to listen to music you love and why?
You're going to be surprised by both of our answers, I think, because they're not the norm. I really like Tidal. It's really easy to navigate, and my husband has a subscription, so I use his. And supposedly, it's like the best
streaming
quality for audio files. They
don't like compress as much as the other streamers.
And I really like the platform. So Tidal is kind of my go-to. It has a lot of kids songs on it right now at the moment that are my go-to. For the car. I try not to do too many, of those. Like there's only so many that I can kind of handle, but I'm like, okay, these ones are fun. Like, this will get him in a good mood when he's like having a freak out in the car.
Yeah. Baby.
And then I would say I use Apple Music. Like I've been using Apple Music forever. I mean, since it came out, like I love it. I'm a dedicated Apple Music fan.
Nice.
What about you? What is yours? Use?
Well, it's funny. So my dad uses Tidal because he's a DJ. That's where he gets a lot of his music and stuff from. And then I use Apple Music.
Nice. Okay.
I get it.
Yeah. I will say though, my girlfriend, she loves Spotify. And I will say what was cool about that is that she just recently got like Spotify does this like end of the year rap thing where it's so so she was like showing me that, and that was actually pretty cool. I'll give
I like that they do that.
The Spotify Wrapped is very cool.
It's very cool.
And is now an idea I feel like that all these other companies have like co-opted to be like, oh, we should do that now too.
Exactly.
Because like a lot of the artists and stuff, if like an artist was your favorite, some of these artists have pre-recorded like thank you messages, which I think was really cool.
Yeah, we've done those.
Cool.
I was gonna say, did you guys get a chance to do those? That's awesome.
Yeah, we've done them before. Yeah.
So we get to like thank the fans for like, making us listen or whatever. It's really sweet. It's a good idea. Yeah. I think I'd be on Spotify more if I was someone that was really into curating playlists. That's just never been my thing.
We're kind of album listeners all the way through. So there's not a major need to I mean, other than maybe like, yeah, you're discovering something new because you're listening to a playlist that they've created. But yeah, I'm not a big playlist type person anyways.
Yeah, it's fair. Okay, and I think, yeah, okay, so let's do one more question and then we are going to wrap it up, unfortunately. Oh my goodness. There was like 3 last ones. Let's go with this one just because we didn't really touch too much on She-Ra. So this will be for AJ. You spent a number of years voicing Catra. Plus, I think this would be an interesting question for you to answer. A character we have come to love. What are 3 songs that Catra would have to have?
Oh, sorry. We had a dog moment. Wait,
no worries.
That?
What are 3 songs that Catra would just have to have on her playlist? Like, what do you think?
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I'm not gonna pick any Aly and AJ songs, right? I'm just like, I'm gonna pick
any song.
Great.
Yeah.
Any random song.
3 songs that would be on Catra's playlist.
Oh.
Yeah, what do you think, Ellie? You can put your insight in it too. Yeah.
I think Love Is a Battlefield would be on there.
Oh, classic.
I think let's see. I think
maybe Cyndi Lauper song.
I was thinking that I was thinking that too, but Cyndi Lauper's just her music is just too like sweet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like girls just want to have fun and time after time. Like it's all like I feel like Catra would look at it and be like, "This is sappy." You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good.
I think it would be
How to Save a Life, maybe? No.
Oh, that's interesting. The Fray?
Save a life. Yeah,
great song. Great song. Okay.
Now I'm thinking.
That's How to Save a Life. Al, do you have a suggestion?
Yeah.
Another one?
Yeah.
What about Call Me by Blondie?
Ooh.
That's good.
Yeah. I like the variety. I like the diversity in it.
Me too. I think it'd be, but I do think it'd be like Pat Benatar, Blondie, Joan Jett.
Lots of female.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, maybe Cherry Bomb.
Oh, that's good.
I can hear listening to that. There's like an era of time that I can hear her pulling like 80s rock female like that.
That's
moments.
good. That's good.
There's lots of AUs like people have written in fan fiction where she's like a rock star. So
yeah,
totally fits.
No, I've seen that. And she already kind of like displays that vibe. Like her dark hair, like
and her voice actress is a rock pop singer. So I mean, like, yeah, you know, she does it all. All right, ladies. Well, listen, thank you so much for hopping in and having this time with us, the fans. For those of you watching, again, definitely check out their links below. They will be doing their live autograph signings on December 23rd. It's going to be a fun Christmas Eve themed autograph signing. I will be passing it to them to officially sign us off, but just to thank the fans, all of you guys, for joining in. Thank you for submitting your questions as well. Stay tuned for future, Q&As. We might have these lovely ladies back on. And I will leave it to you guys now. Anything you want to leave off on, any sites or socials you want to leave, the floor is yours.
Yeah, check out, Aly and AJ on Instagram and Twitter and all the places, alyandaj.com as well. And thank you for moderating this, Elijah. You've been awesome. Thank you guys all for the questions.
They were really good questions.
Really good questions, and some that we've never even answered.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, for that. And
join us for a little holiday
signing. We'll be together. We'll probably have some eggnog.
We'll be by the tree.
We both have our trees up, and the lights are on, and the ornaments are hung.
The vibes are high.
We're ready. We'll be cozy, and we'll sign all of your guys' picks and have some laughs together.
Yeah.
Awesome. That sounds like a great time. Well, thank you guys so much. Happy holidays to all those who celebrate, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Elijah.
Bye.